kind of rainy out today too. So.
Get some waters out to everybody. Thank you.
But it's good, like, just to have a break from the kids too. So
yeah, I'm sure it is.
I usually don't do water.
Really good job.
Bread over here. Correct, spray?
Yeah, thank you.
Orange pops in front, but I'm bringing it out. We have water here. Okay. And a margarita too. All right, you guys, we'll go ahead and get started while we're waiting on drinks. And then if we need to order more food, we can certainly order more food. So just let me know.
More soda?
I don't know. Anybody want
Some
some
of
of
this, or
yeah,
There we go.
You guys can eat it. That's fine.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
So welcome everybody. Thank you all so much for coming. Orange soda already came in. Thank you all for coming. My name is Liz Sandy. I am a leader out of Northwest Iowa, and I've been doing this business for not quite 2 years. It'll be 2 years this October, so this Halloween. And so we're super excited to have you guys out here tonight. We're going to start off. I'm not going to give you too much of my story right off the bat. I'm going to have my sister-in-law Mackenzie start off with a little bit about her why and why she joined this business. She finally joined me this spring. It took me a little while to get her, but I got her. Sometimes we don't see the light right away, but that's okay. She sees it now. And so I'm going to let her start off. And then we have Val Huber here tonight. Is it Huber or Huber?
Huber.
Okay, I got it right. Good. As well to share a little bit about her why and her business story too. So a couple different perspectives on the business, and then I'll give you guys a good summation and a good overall about the business as well, and what this business is doing for me in my life. And then we'll go a little bit of a small overview of product, and then we'll answer questions that you guys might have as well. So I'll let Mackenzie open up. Yay!
All right, like Liz said, my name is Mackenzie Sandy. I'm a level 2 executive consultant with Organic Fields. Thank you all for coming tonight. We're really glad that you guys can all be here. I don't do a lot of public speaking, so it's really has never been my thing. So if I'm not talking loud enough, yell at me. Or if you have anything else to say, questions, just let me know. So a little about me. I'm a registered nurse by trade. I work at Avera Pediatric Specialty Clinic here in Sioux Falls. I started my Organic Fields journey about 6 months ago, like Liz said. I so wish I could go back and say that I joined her in business 18 months ago when she started. I so regret not joining her right away. So I actually remember distinctly when she told me about the business. It was 18 months ago. We were sitting at her in-laws' house, and she was telling me that she has this new business. And so I remember two things. I remember the first thing she told me was that it was a direct sales company that she was joining. And I think when she told me that, I about like fell off my chair, because I had no idea that she was looking for something extra, or that their family really needed the extra money that a direct sales company could possibly provide. She's a very successful realtor, and my brother-in-law is a very successful attorney over in Spirit Lake, and so I just didn't understand. And then the second thing I really remember her sharing was that the doctors that created Proactive started this new company called Organic Fields, and that she had joined them, and basically is leveraging their brand to sell skincare. And so from the beginning, I knew that it was going to be amazing. And I really did think that. I thought that it was going to be so, an amazing opportunity, because I knew of Proactive. And I think everybody in this room knows of Proactive. They're in over 100 countries worldwide, and they're a global brand that everybody knows. And so when I realized that they had a new skincare brand that is going to have a more widespread approach to skincare and cover, all different types of skincare concerns, I knew that it was going to be big business, but I only thought it could be big for Liz. So I thought it was going to be amazing. I was so excited to watch her, and I was going to support her by, trying the products and using the skincare. and you know, referring people to her, but I never realized that it would be something that I could actually do. And so like months and months went by. I remember her telling me multiple times, hey, you need to think about doing this. Like, your family is actually buying from me. You have friends that are buying from me. You could be actually making money, you know, right now. You're actually leaving money on the table. And it never even crossed my mind. I was just like, no, this is Liz's thing. I'm really happy to support her. I'm really happy she's doing well, you know. And I never even thought about it. It never crossed my mind. I had some preconceived notions that I think a lot of people have in regards to, like, just the whole, like, drug selling industry, I guess. I thought, you know, she has this huge network of people that she can talk to. I'm from Spirit Lake. I live in Spirit Lake. I have this like small network. I was thinking I am really, she's very outgoing. I'm more quiet by nature, very much an introvert. And then she sells houses for a living, so sure she can sell skincare. I hope she can sell a box of skincare. Like I'm just a nurse, and I didn't know that I could actually do any of this, and that it would, you know, be the path that I could take. And then I finally decided to actually take a listen to what she was doing and really hear her out. And I remember calling her up one day. It was back in December, right around Christmas time. Kind of what had changed for me was my husband and I, we've been married for about 6 months at that time, and we were just thinking more of like the big picture. So I really had to start thinking about the big picture of things. And, you know, a lot of people, I think, especially our generation right now, lots of student loan debt, like 6 figures of student loan debt, credit card debt, or house mortgage, just trying to figure out how we were ever going to get ahead in life. It didn't seem like that would ever be possible. Like we could ever save enough money to, you know, eventually save for our kids' college fund, or even have kids someday and take vacations and be able to give back to our community like we would want to. And so I, you know, I don't know what light bulb turned on, but I came to Liz and decided to look into a little bit more. And I remember listening to I think it was a call that she told me to listen to from her sponsor, and I heard a little bit more about her. She is a very successful consultant with Rodan & Fields, and she's a stay-at-home mom of 3 boys who's more quiet and introverted like me, and she's at the very tip top of this company. And so I figured if she can do it, I could do it. And I heard of many other stories at that time. At that night, I heard of, you know, physicians, attorneys, very high professionals that are doing this business, even realtors, bankers, anybody, teachers. It's really for anybody. And I realized that it's really not a certain personality or characteristic that you have to be successful with this, because we have the brand recognition with the proactive doctors. They really are like it's a black swan of this type of industry, because I think I saw something earlier this week about how we're not the Avon of skincare, but we're compared to like the Airbnb or Uber or Amazon, because we're doing things completely different with Rodan & Fields. And so I think Liz is going to talk a little bit more about the business and all the business facts and why we are so unique and special. But it really is a very special opportunity. And since joining 6 months ago, I've promoted 3 times in the company. I earned my entire kit. I got it entirely reimbursed. And you can do that within the first 2 months of joining. And then, you know, every single month since joining, my paycheck has been growing and growing. And so it really is for anybody. It's easy, it's simple, and it's been one of the biggest blessings, and I can't thank Liz enough for sharing it with me. So I think that's
All right, well, my name is Val Huber. I live in Tea, South Dakota, and I am a wife to my husband, Jordan, and we have 2 kids, an almost 4-year-old in September, he'll be 4. and we also have a 14-month-old. So I work over at the VA hospital. By trade, I am a CT tech, an ultrasound tech, and an X-ray tech. I love my job. I have a lot of respect for veterans. We have family members that have served overseas, and so yeah, I love working there. And I've been there for about 4 years now. But about 6 months ago, when I turned 30, I noticed that I started getting crow's feet. If I didn't wear makeup or have makeup caked on, I would have coworkers say, "You look a little sick today. Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No, I'm actually fine. It's just I don't have makeup on today." So it is scary. So that was kind of a wake-up call too for me. I always imagine, I'm like, well, what would it be like to not wear like caked on foundation every day to work? And so I had a friend reach out to me, an X-ray classmate who I kind of lost touch with over the years because life gets busy, you have kids, and you get busy with them. But she had reached out to me and asked how the family was doing and what I was using for skincare. And I told her, I'm like, oh, I'm so busy with working, and sometimes I work 16 hours a day, and I come home and I'm just tired, and I'd rather go to sleep than wash my face. It's horrible to look back on now, but I'm just being honest, that's what I did. And so she asked what I was using. I told her it was a consistent face washer, and I hit 30 and it was showing. It was horrible. But she sent me a mini facial, and I tried it, and after one use of that, I could not stop touching my face. I was like, wow, my face is so smooth. And so our other friend Mandy was having her big business launch because she had just joined the business 6 months, or a little over 6 months ago. And so I got to catch up with her and Laura, and then I saw Laura in person, and I was just blown away by her lashes. I'm like, what have you been using? They're so long, you need to trim them. And that was the first thing I noticed, and I was just blown away by that. And then they were telling me about the products and what they were using, and kind of why they got into the business. And I was sitting there thinking that, okay, these are moms that are busy. They would not waste their time if this was not something to get into. Laura has a daughter. Mandy has 3 kids. I really don't know how you do it with 3 kids. But yeah, I kept thinking, I'm like, okay, if these guys can do it, I can do it. I trust them. And I signed up the next day as a consultant before even starting a regimen of my own, because I knew I was gonna love it. They said they loved it, and there was a 60-day money-back guarantee. So if it wasn't going to work, I could return it too. So, but I didn't, because I loved everything in my kits. And I use lots of different things from different regimens too. So yeah, I started 6 months ago, and since then I've been promoted twice, and I have a team of consultants of my own too. And it's so fun to watch them grow. And when they do their live videos of like how it's helping their family, it really hit me this last weekend. It's such a fun business because with having kids, you tend to put yourself last. And this business has kind of maybe come out of my comfort zone. I'm meeting up with more friends and doing events to get around more people, and just catching up with people you can lose contact with over the years. It's been really fun. So yes, I'm very excited to see where I'll be in a year, because this last 6 months have just flown by so fast, and it's fun to look back on. But yeah, when you get the vision of where this business and this company is going, your ears just kind of perk up, your eyes get like you just start smiling because you know you're into something that's going to be growing and something that's going to be helping your family. So that's kind of my story of why I got into this business.
That's one of the big reasons why I really love this company is because the people who I have really come across and met. I would never otherwise meet. I would never have ever met Val if it weren't for this company. And to truly see what it's doing for people's lives and how it's changing, and it's become seriously like the most infectious drug that you can ever take every day or every month on the 10th when we get paid. It's like, oh my gosh, I love it, because I get people calling me and they're crying. Oh my gosh, I made more money this month than I ever had in my paychecks. It's awesome. It is so great. I get goosebumps. And anyway, I could go on and on for hours about it. But like I mentioned, my name is Liz Sandy. I'm a realtor by trade, as Mackenzie said, out of Spirit Lake. I have 2 little boys. Tommy's 10 months, who normally would be here. Normally Tommy's my R+F mascot, but he's getting to the point where he's really starting to get into things, and it wouldn't work very well for me to present anymore with Thomas around. So you might have to just chill with Dad for a few months. And then my other son, JR, is 3 years old, which is hard to believe. It's just crazy how fast it goes. But in any event, I joined this business almost 2 years ago Halloween, and I can honestly say this is the best thing that has ever happened to me in my entire life. Less, of course, you know, my family, my husband, but I mean, as far as an opportunity is concerned, I never saw myself doing this. Just like Mackenzie said, just like us, this is something that, like most people out of your comfort zone, and believe it or not, I am in sales, I am a realtor, but let's put it out there, direct sales has never been my thing. I was one of those people that said I would never do that, right? Y'all probably have that in our head, like I would never do that. That was me. And so what happened was a little over 2.5 years ago, I saw my cousin. Actually, it was longer than that. It was almost 3.5 years ago now, which is crazy. I saw her posting on Facebook about this company, Rodan & Fields. And like Mackenzie had mentioned, she's my sponsor. She's actually my cousin-in-law. She's married to my cousin. She's out of Austin. And she began posting on Facebook about this opportunity in this company. And we're thinking to myself, why is she doing this? Because my cousin actually has a very successful advertising firm out of Austin. And he does very, very well. You would recognize his work on the grocery store shelves. And so to me, I was thinking to myself, they had it made, right? But little did I know that the rat race was catching up with them, and they, you know, he wasn't home, and their boys were growing up without him. And so my cousin-in-law decided, you know what, she was going to do this business because she was going to change it up, and she was going to make money, and she was going to change their lives for the better. And boy, has she ever. So we'll kind of catch up with where she's at in her business in a little bit, just to kind of give you a little bit of attention to the company. But I watched her for 18 months thinking to myself, I'm too good for this, right? I'm a realtor, I have a successful business, why would I ever do that? And totally didn't think that it would be anything that would be up my line of spectrum. And believe me, skincare is not my thing. I've been a proactive user for 15 years though. And so I watched, literally watched my skin transform when I had used the proactive product. But I tried to get off of it many times because I didn't necessarily want to pay for it throughout my college years when I was a little bit more, not making that much money, right, when I was a student. And so ultimately, I realized I couldn't get off of it. It was a product I had to have if I wasn't going to break out like a whole, you know, prepubescent teen. I was 13, right? So it was just kind of, it was just my face. I've always been acne prone. And so I had a really, I actually had the best real estate year of my entire life, but I was sick. I was sick and tired of the season. I was tired. I was run down. I had clients that had been really horrible to me. And at that point in time, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do something for me. I'm gonna change up my skincare because spending money on myself is not something I normally do, right? When you become a mom and you have a family, you start to put yourself second, like Val said, it just kind of starts to kind of happen that way. And that was okay with me. But I was sitting at home kind of sulking in my own misery, thinking to myself, you know what, I'm gonna do this. And I'm gonna try this skincare. So my cousin actually happened to message me that day, Sarah, you know, by the grace of God, she also messaged me that day and said, I have a regimen for you to try. And so I tried it, and 3 days later, I was blown away at what I had done with my skin right off the bat. And so immediately I was like, I'm in. You let me know what to do, I'm in. And I really have not looked back. This has been a company that the more I get into it, the more I love it, the more I share with passion, the more I realize this is an opportunity of a lifetime. This is something that everybody can benefit from, whether it's product or the business. And truly, I believe that this is a business that anybody can work. This business is for anybody who wants the opportunity and can run with it. It's not just for a few people across the top. It's for anybody who wants to run with it and take advantage of the opportunity. So I jumped in, I got started, and initially my initial goal was let me just cover daycare, because that, let's face it, daycare is expensive, right? And you know, being a working mom, I was thinking to myself, if I could at least make enough money, that $1,000 to cover every month, that would be huge. Well, by month 2 rolls around, I was covering daycare. And so I needed a bigger goal. And I realized real quick, okay, this is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be if I'm already covering daycare and it's in my second month there. So I really began to learn a little bit more about the business. So what does that look like? You know, as Mackenzie mentioned, we're the proactive doctors, right? So these guys have already created a multi-billion-dollar brand. They've already done this once. They own 80% of the global acne market and are in over 125 countries. That's huge. If you think about it, Starbucks, just to give you a little perspective, only owns 2% of the coffee market. Okay, 2% of the global coffee market. So for these guys to already own 80% of a global brand, that's insane, right? So believe me, they're going to do it again, and they're doing it with these products. So what they did was they went back to the drawing board back in the early 2000s, and they said, you know what? Skincare is more than just acne, right? So when they initially created Proactive, they actually created it more so for teens and for the habits of teens. What they've done here is they've figured out with their 50 years of clinically combined experience and being in practice still today in the Bay Area, the San Francisco Bay Area, they have a 3-year waiting list, by the way. So they're still seeing people like you and me every day. They figured out that these are the 4 main common skin concerns of today, and they're bringing dermatology home to the masses. Believe me, we're gonna be more needed tomorrow than we are today, because the need for dermatologists and the wait is getting longer and longer and longer, and the needs for them is greater and greater and greater, because we are growing as a populace, right? More skin's born every day. Everybody has skin, and skin conditions don't discriminate. It doesn't matter if you're old, young, you know, white, black, male, female, we all have something that we would like to change about our skin. So that's big business. That's what it translates. It translates to big business. So they determined what these 4 main common skin concerns were. And we'll be going over the products here in a little bit. But really what this does is it's offering somebody an opportunity to get products that actually work and transform your skin at an over-the-counter opportunity. It's just below prescription strength level, and we know that these are the gold standard in all ingredients, because these are the doctors that, thank you, Carrie. These are doctors that are in practice today and are writing scripts. They know what works, right? So that's what they've done. They've broken this up into a multi-med therapy. It's the right ingredients, the right formulations, in the right order, so you know you're getting the best skincare possible, and it's at our fingertips. So that's what's pretty fantastic about it, is we know this works. It's clinically proven. And what that means is it's just like your scripts you get when you go to the doctor. You don't look at your physician and say, are you sure this prescription's gonna work? No, because you know it's clinically proven, right? Well, they don't need little old Liz Sandy out of Northwest Iowa to say these products work. We know these products work before they even hit your face. That's how good they are. They're clinically proven, and they test off the charts for dermatological skincare. They just do. It's just fact. And that's what I love about this company. It's all about the facts, right? They're so confident in the performance of these products that they offer a 60-day money-back guarantee on all products, everything across the board. And they have such a strong belief also in this business that there's also a 60-day money-back guarantee for the business. So you can actually buy into this business, which, by the way, is under $1,000, and you have unlimited earning capacity, and you can actually go back in 2 months if you decide this isn't for you and get your entire investment back. Believe me, Chick-fil-A isn't saying, here's your $1 million back 2 months after you invest into that, after that franchise, right? So that's what's pretty fantastic about it, is there's really no risk. And that's one of the reasons why I really love sharing this business. Look, you can try the products. If you don't like it, get your money back, right? And you can even say that about the dermatologist. If you go to the dermatologist for a rash or for your acne or whatever it may be, you might go get that prescription and it might not work. Okay, well, guess what? You're out that money, you're out your copay, you're out that time you took off from work, or the babysitter you had to pay to get to the doctor, whatever it may be. So these doctors have grown over the last 8 years. They determined that direct selling was going to be their actual market. We actually started out in Nordstrom's, and they were the #1 clinically sold brand in Nordstrom. That's how great they were doing in the stores, and they pulled it off the shelf. And as Mackenzie mentioned, we're the new Uber of this market. We are doing things so differently that people are actually looking at us at a completely different opportunity. What are the direct selling opportunity is there where literally they already have billionaires that have already done this successful model once? You can't, it doesn't exist. Trust me, I've thought of it a lot. I've tried to figure it out many times. It doesn't exist. And so what's been fantastic about it is they pulled this off the Nordstrom shelves, right? They took it to people like you and me, because one of their main goals in 2008 when they brought this to the direct selling model was to create individual wealth for people like you and me. They realized they had something here. They realized that this is a life-changing business. And that's exactly what this is. Make no mistake about it. This is life-changing skincare. And I know it sounds like a really cheesy hashtag, and it's cheesy, but I have no problem using it, because like I said earlier, as I'm hearing all these payday opportunity and posts and phone calls that I'm getting from everybody on my team, it is mind-boggling what this is doing to change people's lives. People are retiring, people are staying home, people are able to pay off medical debt like they've never been able to pay off before. People are getting ahead of their bills. I mean, I can honestly say that I've actually matched my real estate salary that's taken me 7 years to generate in literally less than 2 years. And I'm going to be able to walk away from my career that I've built and invested in thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars, knowing full well that where I'm going is far bigger than it ever could be if I just stayed in Little and Spirit Lake to Southern State. And that is big business. That's exciting. That's awesome. So we are, like I said, already in the 8 short years that we've been in the direct selling model, we are already a we are a $1 million brand. $1 billion brand, about to be a multi-billion-dollar brand. We have the #1 skincare line across all price points and all channels. So I don't care if you're in Walmart, and I don't care if you're at Nordstrom's. We are outselling you because we are outperforming you, because our products work. We have less than a 3% return rates in all these products, and they're guaranteed, so that you know that they work, right? So where are we headed with this, right? We're only in 2 countries right now. We're only in the United States, and we're only in Canada. That's crazy, right? Think of how many people are in the United States and Canada, and think of how many people are in the world. Okay, so let me just break this down for you. Proactive's already in 125 countries and owns 80% of the global acne market. We are entering anti-aging. We haven't gone to Europe. We haven't gone to China. We haven't gone like anywhere that has a large populace besides just the US. This is crazy, people, okay? So anywhere that we launch, which we are launching a new country every year from here on out, anywhere else that we launch will have to go underneath our businesses. So that's why this is big business. And believe me, already in the US alone, we haven't even scratched the surface yet of saturation. We don't even have enough consultants to saturate 1 state yet, let alone the entire country. So that's what's exciting about this. This opportunity is a whole lot bigger than you ever could have imagined. A lot of people say, oh my gosh, I know 5 people that are already doing this. No, you don't. Believe me. There are very few people that understand how this business works and how to do it right. And what I can honestly share with you is that we are on the fastest growing team in the entire company. In fact, my cousin's team is the fastest growing team in the entire company. We have that officially confirmed by corporate. So we do this better than anybody else. Our trainer is elevated way better than anybody else. And believe me, there's a lot of people that are wondering what we're doing. So it's pretty special. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about this, is because I know that if you follow our duplication and the way that we share this business and the simplistic steps of growing this business, and you stay consistent with it and you share with passion, that your life will be completely changed within the next 3 to 5 years. In fact, Forbes actually calls this the best retirement plan in 3 to 5 years. So we have people all over our team, not just a few people at the top. We have people all over our team that are reaping CEO salaries that would take 30 to 40 years to create in literally just 3 to 5 years. So just to give you a little bit of a crazy idea, and I don't usually share this a whole lot because people are like, okay, yeah, that's nuts. I don't believe it. But my cousin just made last month what most teachers make in an entire year. And that is growing hand over fist month after month. And I can honestly say that my paycheck is continuing to grow, and that I will be able to say with certainty by this time next year that I will be making a multiple 5-digit salary every month. And that is big business. And I'm not stopping until I can tell every single person on this planet about how this company can absolutely change your life. And it is fantastic how it's all kind of falling out. So I could go on and on and on. But in any event, where we're headed, like I had mentioned, we are rolling out a new country from here on out for the foreseeable future. These doctors have cutting edge technology that they're constantly rolling out new products with that everybody wants to get their hands on. Our lash boost, which we're going to talk about here shortly, outsold the #1 mascara last year on the market. That's insane. So I'm not sure if you guys realize how big of a business number that is, but it's big business. So I could go on and on and on, but ultimately, like I mentioned, this is an opportunity that works because our products work. So I'm going to have Val, right? Yep. Talk about the regimens real quick and kind of just go over those, and then we'll circle back.
Perfect.
So there's 4 main regimens, and these are all multi-med therapy products. And what that means is that it's the right ingredients and the right formulation in the right order. So to start out, the first regimen is Soothe. So if you have someone that has red, sensitive skin that gets very irritated easily, Soothe would be the one to use. What it does is it restores your lipid barrier. It works great for red, sensitive skin. I've also used this on sunburns. My son gets diaper rashes, bug bites, so it has multiple uses too. The next one is the Unblemish. So that one's good for acne, breakouts. And the next one is for reverse. And so if you have any dark spots, dullness, melasma, it works great to help get your skin back to a good balance for that. And then the last one is the Redefine, and that one is for anti-aging, wrinkles, fine lines, and to minimize your pores. And so that one's, and if you don't have any skin issues either, that one's a great one to use as well, just to prevent aging. So those are just kind of like the basics of the 4 main regimens. We have a solution tool on our website, so if you're not quite sure or if you have multiple issues going on, you can always do the solution tool and that will recommend what products to start with.
Okay. And we have a few ancillary products that I'm going to talk about tonight. Our eye cream is our best-selling product. It is this little container here, lasts about 4 to 6 months. Using it twice daily, and it helps reduce fine lines, wrinkles, helps dark circles under your eyes. I have like the worst dark circles in America, I'm pretty sure. But they were way worse before I started using this eye cream. So it helps with that puffiness, basically anything you can think of. You apply it to your orbital bone twice a day, like I said, and you can pair this with any one of our regimens. This tool here is a pretty amazing tool. You roll it on your skin. You can roll it anywhere. Obviously, most people use it on their face, but neck too is a very popular area to roll it on. It helps reduce fine lines and wrinkles, and it basically is 192 microneedles that helps create microchannels or creates microchannels in your skin. Basically breaks down or creates those channels in your skin to basically tell your body to produce more collagen. And collagen, of course, helps to reduce fine lines and wrinkles and basically combat the signs of aging. And so you can use this with our reverse regimen and Redefine. Those are the 2 main regimens that you use this product with on your face anyway. And this is a great product. It's amazing. And then we have our Lash Boost here. Lash Boost, as Liz said, is one of our top selling products, and it is currently sold out unless you buy a business kit, and it's still coming in the business kits right now. But by the end of the month, we're hoping that it's going to be back in stock, but it's just selling out so fast because it's just a great product. It's basically biotin, keratin, and peptides. You apply it to your lashes every night before bed. It's a clear serum, and it takes 10 seconds to apply. You're supposed to let it dry for 90 seconds. And very simple. It creates longer, fuller, and darker looking lashes. I actually had to stop using this after like 2 to 3 months because I literally could not wear my glasses anymore because my eyeglasses were like getting in the way. And then hydration, yes.
Sorry.
Hydration is actually our newest product here. I encourage all of you, if you haven't used it, to come up and just try this because this stuff is amazing. Our doctors actually created a new molecule when they made this product. And it's clinically proven to reduce or to increase hydration moisture on your skin by 200% after the first use. And so what it does is it actually brings in moisture from the air and creates like a reservoir on your face. So like moisture holds in, moisturizers hold in moisture on your face. This actually brings moisture out from the environment and keeps it on your face all day long. And you can actually use this with any one of our regimens. So even with, if you use the Unblemished because you have oily skin, this basically will help with that too. It basically works with no matter what type of skin you have. So that is my newest favorite product, and we have some extras up here too tonight. The acute care helps to fill fine lines and wrinkles. It's basically hyaluronic acid, and you apply those on at night. And if you have like expression lines that you want to have minimized or reduced or disappear, you can use those overnight. And what else do we have up here? We have our body sunscreen, which is amazing, and then our just body lotion too. So I think Liz is going to talk more about how to buy products.
Yes. So there's 3 different ways, of course, that you can be a part of our company. You can, of course, be a customer. We love our customers. We're actually, our company is 60 to 70% customer based, and for a direct selling company, that's pretty crazy. It costs $19.95 to join our customer program. It's a one-time fee, just like joining maybe a discount store would be a one-time fee, and for $19.95. And then you get actually 10% off with all your purchases with that, and then you actually get free shipping on all orders over $8, which is pretty fantastic. Of course, you could be a consultant at 25% off all of our products, which is fantastic. We have 3 different business kits that you can buy in with. We have a $9.95, which is hands down your best opportunity to get your business going off on the right foot. There's a $6.95 opportunity and a $3.95 opportunity, which is a little bit more like a personal, I want to discount, customer kit. But ultimately, our $9.95 kit comes with one of each regimen plus a regimen of your choice. You get 2 rollers, one for yourself, one for display, 2 hydration serums, a lash boost, eye cream, our microdermabrasion paste, which is not up here but is fantastic. And then I think it's 40 samples, right? 40 baby facial. 20? But then you have 20 Give It a Go packs, but 20.
40 Give It a Go packs and 20 microdermabrasion.
Okay, so it's actually 60 baby facials, which is pretty fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a really great way to get your business off and running, right? And the third way, of course, is you can help us maybe get in contact with somebody that this company could be life-changing for, whether it be somebody who needs the skincare because they have a need, or somebody who might need an opportunity or business. This business can be $500 a month for you. This business could be $1,000 a month for you. This business could be $5,000 a month for you. This business could be $50,000 a month. And I could keep going, but you get the point. And truly, that's exactly what this company is. It can be whatever you want it to be for you. And so for me, I saw myself in the way I was working my business and what it took for me to be self-employed in the first place. It was a lot of nights, it was a lot of weekends, and it was a lot of time away from my family. And the rat race was there. And I didn't want to work 40 years to live on 40% of my income. After 40 years of working 40 hours a week, and trust me, it wasn't just 40 hours a week that I was working. So ultimately, this company is going to be life-changing for me. I am going to be able to step away from that career that I've actually created and desired so much to have. And I'm going to be able to be present for my family and be at my kids' schools and be there at the bus when they get home. And that to me is life-changing skincare. That to me is a big, huge change. And whether it's something for you that might be more student debt, or it might be an extra vacation for your family, or maybe it's just a shameless shoe fund. That's exactly what this could be. And so I love sharing about this company. As you can tell, I'm very passionate about it, and it is, like I said, that cheesy hashtag, life-changing skincare. So if anybody has any questions, I would be happy to take them now. Anybody? I'm gonna say bye.